what you have been trained. And the proof, the evidence of this knowledge is the fact that you applied properly. And most times people call that wisdom. But Jesus Christ said, you will know the truth as you interact with me, as you abide in me, as you abide in my words, and let my words abide inside you, you will come to the knowledge of truth. You will not come to relative truth. You will not come to situational truth. You will not come to a centuries truth. You will not even come to a localized truth. You will come to truth in its entirety, truth in its purpose, truth in its intent and originality, truth as God intended it to be through the person of the resurrected Savior Jesus Christ. And that knowledge of that truth that you have will make you free. And ladies and gentlemen, a free man and a free woman can never be bound, can never be hoodwinked, can never be supplanted in his or her understanding from standing upon the truth. So as we start this year 2014, I am immensely grateful to God. I have been praying and I'm asking God for his wisdom as we share together, and I would trust you that as it was in 2013 and it has been as it has been over the last 17 years, so the blessing of God will come upon us. There's a story I want to tell about a man who stumbled across an information for a party, for a very great party, a very great feast. And he looked at this information that he saw and he thought, well, why not? Because it looked like an open invitation. And so he put himself together. He went to his tailors. He bought material. He designed the kind of outfit he wanted to wear. He spent money. He spent time with the tailors, making sure that they would do it well, sew it well, do everything well. When it was finished, about a week later, to and fro argument with his tailors. He got it ironed, they got it starched. He went to the shops, he bought a new pair of shoes. He tried them, they looked good. He went to his barbers, he had a very good haircut, something befitting this occasion, because from his anticipation, all the who's who of the nation of his time were going to be there. You know what it's like when maybe there's a state banquet, or maybe a chief of state, a head of state, a president comes to town and you're privileged to be one of those invited. You know, you don't want to look scruffy, you don't want to look smelly, excuse my language. You want to look in your top, your best, because you might just be shaking hands with the president, you might just be called to do something, and the TV cameras will be there, maybe it's being covered live, so you really want to make a first and a lasting impression, trusting that from that time and your stage on live, who knows, maybe something would happen. And so he got his hair done. He bought one of these good masculine colognes that you don't have to spray all over your body, but just a little touch here and there, and the fragrance is everywhere. He got himself ready. Unfortunately, he did not have his own car. So he talked to one of the car hire services, and he called them like 5 times that day, reminding them that this reception is at 7 p.m. The driver should be there by 5:45. So if there's a flat tire, if there is traffic jam, if there is any kind of a hold-up, he'll be able to make it to this place for 7. He was under so much pressure, but yet he was full of anticipation. He was excited because he knew that there was a chance that he was going to meet the greatest of the greatest. There would be camera photo opportunities. As I said, the TV would be there, maybe live radio coverage and all that. And so this day came. He had collected his clothes. He had shined his shoes. I mean, he was like tops and best and everything, and the driver came 5:45 on the dot. He took his time, sat in the car so that his dress would not be so creased that he would look funny, and they drove this distance. From about 200 meters, he could see cars and traffic diversion and the police trying to order the parking of the cars, and he could see cars with flags, foreign flags. He could see diplomatic number plates. He could see NGO number plates. He could see TAs, technical assistants. He could tell. He could see the army band truck, so he knew that definitely the military band was there. He could see the television cars. He could see the OB van, the outside broadcasting van. So he knew that this is going satellite. And finally he came down from the taxi. The taxi told him that he was charging him something like $160. He just gave him $300 here and told him, keep the change. And then he walked majestically, he chested out, he breasted out, and he took his strides and walked with a swag to the entrance and greeted everybody. And the people at the entrance had a list of names. And when they looked at the list of names, they couldn't find his name there. He was shocked. And because a little queue was forming, they asked him to step aside a bit. And he said, surely, because he saw this invitation. Then they asked him a question, but did you receive a personal invitation? Because if you did, then you should have your invitation. Do you have an invitation to this party? He said, well, I thought as I read it, it looked good, so I dressed. And obviously, he was not allowed into the party. And he began to wonder the amount of time, the money, the effort, the energy, the sleepless nights, the argument with the tailor, the keep the change with the driver, and everything that he had put into attending to this party, forgetting that all that was secondary to the primary thing, which primary thing was the fact that the only way he could enter that party was he needed his personal invitation. Now, this is a story that can happen to any person. It is a fictitious story, by the way. I just made it up in my mind. But it's so real because it's possible. The reason being that as we start this year, we are just in the very first week, less than 168 hours of January 2014. The question I ask, are you putting first things first? Or are you starting this year putting celebration before hard work? Are you going to start this year putting the cart in front of the horse, expecting the horse somehow to push the cart from the back? Or are you going to plan and organize your life in such a way that the cart is where it should be, driven by the horse, which is in front? If I sat here tonight and I said, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas for 2014, Happy Easter, Happy Tobaski, somebody will be sitting there thinking that something is wrong with Pastor Forbes today. He's wishing us Merry Christmas. Yes, I am wishing you, but I am wishing you 300 days ahead of time. 330 or 20 something days ahead of time. And I could start desiring Christmas and buying things for Christmas. But the truth is that Christmas 2014 will not come until the 25th of December this year, which is some clear 11 months and 23 days thereabout. And no matter how excited, agitated, insomniac, sleepless night, agitated I am, December 25th cannot come because I wish it. December 25th is going to come in its proper timing by the organization of God in times and season, days and nights, by the rotation of the earth on its axis and its revolution around the sun. December 25th will come after December 24th. In fact, December would not show up until the 30 days of November are over. And November cannot show up in 45 days' time. November will have to show up after October has played its role. And going backwards to September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, until we get to tomorrow, January 8th, there is no amount of pressure, super excitement that we can place for Christmas 2014 because everything operates in its time, in its season. There is a popular verse in the Bible in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Two popular verses are chapter 3 verse 1 and chapter 3 verse 11. Chapter 3 verse 1 goes like this: to everything there is a season and a right time for every purpose. Verse 11 goes like this: God